Step into the Fieldhouse, your front row seat to legendary victories and untold stories. Hey, I'm your host, Lance Leonard, breaking down sports from the inside out, along with co-host Jimmy Lackey. It's more than just a game. It's the Fieldhouse Podcast. Hey, welcome into the Fieldhouse Podcast. We are a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network. I'm one of your co-hosts, Lance Leonard. We also have co-host Jimmy Lackey, the man here at Kids Inc., CEO and Prez, and contractor and builder, and
far from it.
No, you could have that title. No, what? Hey, we always have a tradition here, Jimmy. It's as we're taping this, it is fairly early in the day. But what's the best thing that happened to you today?
I'm gonna tell you the best thing happened to me last night.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I'm going to last
24 hours is good.
So it's Holy Week. I'm a proud Catholic.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, our bishop retired, and they sent us a new interim, and he is a cardinal. He was the Archbishop of Galveston, Houston, and retired, and they brought him out of retirement. The Pope asked him to come serve at the Amarillo Diocese until we get a new bishop. He did the service last night. It was standing room only at St. Mary's Cathedral. It was packed. It was called the Chrism service, and he is funny.
Yeah.
He's lighthearted. He's kind. He stays and shakes hands with everybody afterwards. He is a delight. His name is Cardinal DiNardo, and
he's got a sense of humor.
Oh my gosh, yeah! Every time I see him, I've probably met him 3 or 4 times now, and I just tell him he sees me coming. I said, you know what I'm going to tell you? Thank you for being here. And I mean, think about us. We're a small diocese compared, like he said last night, the service that he did, he said when he retired, he thought he'd done his last Chrism service. He said, he's looking out in our place, and we're thinking it's packed. He goes, y'all are lucky. He goes, it took us 30 minutes just to get all the priests in the Houston area.
In the Houston area, yeah. Oh, Houston, yeah.
So, he's much larger scale used to, and we're so much smaller than him, but yeah, he is a delight to be around, and very refreshing, and makes you really, really feel good about things when you leave. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that's carried over into today. I think that's today for me.
That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah,
that is pretty.
Yeah, we have Thursday service and then Friday service and Easter weekend, and he'll do all the services at the cathedral, which is where we go, St. Mary's, and so. Yeah, it's very unique for a town our size and a diocese our size to have somebody of his stature here. I mean, the Pope asked him to come here.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
That's about as big as it gets.
Yeah, I would think so.
So
I wonder
for all you non-Catholics, sorry for that, but it's a pretty proud thing.
I've got to ask you: has anybody ever said no to the Pope?
Boy, I don't know. I would not.
Like, I'm retired. Yeah. You're the Pope. You're the man, but I'm staying retired. I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't there, but apparently they had a meeting, and he was in Rome, and they had this meeting, and it's a bunch of Texas bishop groups. And if I'm wrong on this, Cardinal, y'all let me know. But the way I heard it happened was the Pope's assistant or whatever came over and said, "Hey, Amarillo Diocese may need some help. Would you be willing to help?" And he said, "Well, if you need me, I'll be happy to help anywhere." And said he basically just ran back over to where Allie is and talked to the Pope. The Pope says, "You're going to go to Amarillo." It happened like something similar to that. I mean, we're all sitting here talking amongst ourselves. They had that conversation. Next thing we know, he's coming to Amarillo. So
I'm impressed the Pope knows Amarillo.
Well, at least he's from Chicago. So,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, he's a Chicago guy. So
we're living in a time that most of us never thought we'd see an American Pope.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, we also have another tradition here on the Fieldhouse Podcast. Before we get going today, it is our number 74th, and we always pick a player, one of our favorite players, or a player that inspired us, or somebody even from our high school days and all that. And we do have a high school question for you, and I know it's Easter week, but we've got to talk about Dumas for just a second up there. I saw they're back in the news, but you laugh at that, and it comes up about every 2 or 3 years. I learned that the first 2 or 3 years I was here, okay? But we'll get on that. But it's number 74. Jimmy, you lead us off on this one because I think it's –
I'm sure you can guess who my 74 is.
Yeah, I can. And it's one of the classic Cowboys of all time. This is a very special number in Cowboys lore.
Yeah, Bob Lilly, hands down. He's the face in the book. I just looked, and I mean, he's one of those original, true Dallas Cowboys, and what a legacy he left for that franchise.
Yeah. Now there are 9 Hall of Famers who wear number 74, Pro Football Hall of Famers.
Really?
Okay, Merlin Olsen.
Yep.
I've got to bring him up. I knew you were going to go Lilly, so we got to give Merlin Olsen some love. But
turned actor. And
lots
of commercials.
He went to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 14 NFL seasons and was all Pro 9.
First 14.
But how about this one, Jimmy? This is what I wanted to bring up to you because you respect people who are consistent in their jobs, consistently excellent. He did not miss a single game in his 15-year career. Not a single game. All 208 games he played from 62 to 76 he played in. So
they didn't know what hurt meant.
Yeah. And then another one I know you respect because he's a Houston Oiler was Bruce Matthews.
Yep.
He had a 19-year career, 10-time All-Pro. So there's some heavyweights.
Where his son played in the league for years. Clay Matthews.
In 74 is a heavyweight number.
Yep.
So I like that
Wow.
one. I know.
those are
But
big
Bob
ones.
Lilly, just class act. I met him once. You know what I mean?
Really?
You were just talking to your granddad or whatever. Really.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Very unpretentious.
Yeah.
That's what now big dude, big hands, big structure. Farm strong, like they like to say it. But
I mean, they were Cowboys. Walt Garrison, those guys, they were, like you said, they were farm strong.
Yeah. So, hey, a couple of things I got for you. As we're taping this, it's April 1st. Did you ever pull off an April Fool's joke or get one pulled on you that you have to tip your cap to?
I had tipped my hat to John Mark one time because I sat there and read one of his articles that he always did the April Fool's thing with, and
Yes.
I was knee-deep in it before I went, wait a minute. I went to the end, and I went, yeah, he had me.
He had you? Yeah, he used to do that. I mean, and you think you're going to remember that, and you don't.
This was one of the first ones that I ever really read of his that he got me pretty good, and then after that, I was like, no, not again.
Yeah. I'll never forget one time I think you wrote something like something crazy, like somebody is going to come out of retirement, and they actually did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Number one, I'm not a very good prankster. Number two, I don't like them being pulled on me, so I know what comes around goes around.
I'm okay with a good one.
I just told
if I don't like to be humiliated. You know what I mean? Like embarrassed.
I don't like to be in the limelight. And so I told my staff on Monday, and Allie can vouch for you on this. A lot of them are nervous to come in my office because the way we're set up. You got to come through Kiva's office.
Yeah.
My door's always open.
It's intimidating. I respect you guys for that.
But I'm jumpy, and my back's always to the door because I'm working on my computer. And I no more told them that. I said, just holler and let me know you're coming in, but please come in my office anytime you want. And I no more got back to my office, and here comes Coy, and he got my door, and he goes, hey, Jimmy, and I jumped. And he goes,
how about
man,
a bell? How about just have a ring? It plays like
me and my
the
poor
Buffalo
family.
Fight song or
My poor family puts up with. I'm just jumpy.
Yeah.
I am.
That's okay. That's the people are like that. I got to tell you one real quick, if you don't mind.
It's embarrassing.
Fourth grade. My mom was a school teacher, so Black Forest, Colorado, just outside of Colorado Springs. We brought lunches every day. Our sack lunches. You had those old school. Remember the metal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had like the
Scooby Doo.
Yeah, all those. The Beatles, Batman. But we wouldn't.
Allie's
like
over there going, "What in the world?"
Yeah, I know.
They
were metal lunch boxes, and everybody brought them. And you even had like coolers in them.
Oh yeah, had a thermos.
Which was made out of glass. So if you dropped it, it broke. But
I made the mistake of I snuck Coke in mine, like Coca-Cola, and opened it at lunch, and it was
just exploded.
It was shattered. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Only did that once.
But those are a big deal. But anyway, when you're at lunch, you traded. You traded whatever your mom had brought you. And my mom was pretty cool, though. We were hard-boiled eggs, and she would always write a note on it saying, have a great day, you're the best, whatever. I mean, every day. So I got this little note. But anyway, my mom, you know, she was a school teacher, and she knew all the teachers pretty much at my elementary. So anyway, she makes chocolate soap, okay? Awesome chocolate on the outside, but in the inside is soap balls, okay? So like they're chocolate balls. So I trade him to my buddy, you know what I mean? He goes and trades with Miss Landers. You know what I mean? The teacher. Like, it's a great trade. I didn't know this at all. You know what I mean? And she bites into that, and you just hear, Lance. You know what I mean? Just like that. Yeah. So that was pretty funny. My mom actually got back to the teacher, but we used to always do that. She would do like cotton balls or whatever, you know, but always a treat. But it's a lot of fun.
One of my best friends is to this day Lance Maddox, and he and I had to share a locker back in the day. And my mom made the best pickled okra known to mankind.
Okay.
And she'd put it in a baggie in my lunch because I loved her pickled okra, and I could trade that. And if you didn't want your milk or your dessert, you'd put it up on the table at the front of the cafeteria.
Okay, really?
And so you could trade.
So you guys like had a formal trading deal going on.
Oh yeah, I love milk, and I love the school-made candy thing that the cafeteria workers used to make. Man, I could get all the milk I wanted or all the school-made candy I wanted from Mom's pickled okra. But poor Lance, he said our locker stunk because it always smelled like pickled okra.
Did your mom know you were doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty
I told her it was like gold bars, man. I said I can get a lot I can get extra, especially she liked it if I drank extra milk. She loved that.
Yeah, but that locker.
Apparently it bothered Lance. I guess it didn't faze me. I was used to it. But
Jimmy grew up in Dumas, and last week, and it happens about every 2 or 3 years. Obviously, they are nicknamed the Demons and Demonettes, you know, at this time. And her son, I think, is going into high school and wants the name rescinded. No longer, let's change the nickname to something different. You lived it. I mean, what's your thought on that?
Truthfully, there's bigger fish to fry in this world than worrying about stuff like that. That's been our mascot for 100 years. I don't think I just got through telling you about my faith. I don't think anybody would call me a devil worshiper.
Right? Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's a mascot, and there's the Red Devils in Texoma. I mean, you know, we're not the
Blue Devils,
the Blue Demons, the Blue Devils.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mascot, and for gosh sakes, my girlfriend in high school was our mascot. She wore the demon head, and she's still a nice young lady to this day. And so, you know, I guess I have a little different take on it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen our friend Sean Reed has put out a big he's been putting posts out on Facebook. They interviewed him on Channel 7. He started a petition against it, which has far more signatures on it than the other one does. And, you know, I don't remember the last time it came up, but it's come up. I can probably remember 3 or 4 times that this issue's come up. And
they did have a spokesman, you know, in the story I saw come on from Dumas.
It was Sean.
No, this is a lady.
Oh, the lady that started the deal.
Yeah, maybe she started, but she said
she's the one that wants it off. Correct.
No, they showed the lady who wanted it off, and then they showed maybe a spokesman from Dumas ISD.
Oh, I bet it was Kelly Legg.
Yeah, probably Kelly Legg. Yeah, and she was very calm about it and just said, "This does happen every 2 to 3 years. We take everybody's opinion serious. You know what I mean?" But she kind of said it like you said it.
It's not a pandemic.
It's not a.
Yeah. In all fairness, I understand it. Why they may want that done, I get it, but I just think there's bigger fish to fry in the world than worrying about
fair enough.
A high school mascot.
And I bring that up only because you lived it, you know
sure.
it. You know, that's why I wanted your take on that.
Well, I'll tell you this. Yeah. I won't name names, but he was a year younger than me. There's a bridge right before you get to the county. I'm gonna laugh. Right before you get to the county line, going toward Dumas. It's a railroad track bridge right before you get to Masterson. And he, I'm going to laugh. And it was there for a long time. He went and spray painted across the bridge, "Welcome to Hell, home of the Dumas Demons," going across that bridge. And that was there for a long time. And I got when I was in college coming back home from time to time, I got the biggest kick out of that. Because, we're proud of it. We're the Demons. And, back in the 60s, they were known as the Black Plague. And, they were really good before we showed up.
We weren't
as hot when we rolled around.
That's the Black Plague. I like that.
The Black Plague, yeah.
One of the best nicknames I've ever seen, I might have told you the story, the Wheeler Mustangs in the 80s when I was first at the Globe News had an absolutely great run going on, you know what I mean? And their defense, they didn't win state this time, but their defense was named Black Death, because they dressed in black. But the sign they would bring to the games, Jimmy, was it was about this big, just a little sign, and it said Black Death is here. And they would the cheerleaders or whoever just post it up there. Nothing fancy.
That's fun stuff for kids.
Yes, and I thought it was awesome.
That's
I
great.
really did. Black Death is here. And it was just this little, no bigger than that. I promise it wasn't even that big. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hey, before we move on real quick, wheelchair basketball, your wife's going to suit up again and play. Just want to give a shout-out to One Chair at a Time. That's what the whole wheelchair basketball tournament we participate in every year. We get a media team up, and Jimmy's wife, Kim, is nice enough to play with us. We are trying to get Natalie Ritchie as our ringer.
Oh, yeah.
That might be playing with us this year. But you've talked to Kim about it. You've witnessed it. Here's the deal. It's for One Chair at a Time, and Joe Chris Rodriguez does this wonderful thing. We have wheelchair athletes in the 806 and beyond, Oklahoma Panhandle, Kansas as well. And what happens is these chairs are not cheap if they want their best chance to compete, on a track. They're almost $4,000.
Yeah.
The wheelchair itself, and we think of handicapped children and young adults. Here's the deal. They grow. And maybe I'm being naive here, but so those wheelchairs, they need to adjust them as they're going through their high school stage as well. And so Joe Chris has this wonderful cause where he goes all in and buys these athletes who want to put themselves out there the chair. And it's like $4,000. Anyway, that's what the tournament's for. We have a blast. We are all of 1-9, our career record in there. We do have one W, and we were trying to get Jason Pillion in or Jeff Williams. We were going to go all in. I don't know if Joe Chris is going to like that, but hey, it's NCAA Monday night championship night.
Oh, wow.
Not the best night to be playing.
No.
But we are used to starting at 6, and we're out of there by 7. The game usually doesn't start till late on Monday night. So anyway, I know she likes it. She enjoys it.
Oh yeah, she enjoys it, and it's
anybody who knows Kim though.
It's hard for her not to have a good time wherever she's at, but it's fun to watch. It really is, and as well as I do, some of those athletes that live in those wheelchairs are really good at playing basketball from their chair, and they're fun. They're the ones that are really fun to watch because they know how to play the game, they know how to dribble, they know how to pass, they know how to move the ball, and the rest of them are just looking around going, wait, where'd it go?
Yeah.
All of a sudden
they move up the court like this, and we're like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, helter-skelter.
It is impressive, but it's a lot of fun. Do it yearly, and if you get a chance,
they're doing it at Cap Rock again.
But if you want to come out and watch, that'd be great. As we speak, it'll start on April 6th.
Yeah, make a donation to the program.
We believe in that kind of thing, and he's not trying to. He's not a guy who's out to make $1 million off of a charity. He really is devoted to it, and he's there at the track meets. He's there at their practices. He goes into their houses after this family has had this tragic incident. For instance, I'm not going to mention her name, but young lady at Tascosa, vibrant young lady, car wreck, 9th grade, all of a sudden is in a wheelchair, loses her friends basically, not on purpose, it just happens. kind of becomes a recluse in a room. And Joe Chris, it took him a few times to get the chance to talk to her about it. It's embarrassing the first time you're out there, you know. It really is. And then challenge her, and she qualified for state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a senior.
Well,
one of those stories are real. But her parents saw a completely different young lady emerge because of the chance to get out and about in the public.
I think that's that ex-military in him. You know, I think he knows how to garner that respect and does a great job with it. I have a lot of respect for what they do. Yeah.
And he'll visit them in the hospitals as well. So anyway, hey, did you do a bracket, and is it even alive right now?
I have one left. Arizona.
Yeah, that's me. Here's how
I had Michigan State and Arizona in the finals.
I'm in a little pool, $10, you know, a lot of fun. Winner gets a couple of thousand, but I went from first, Jimmy. I was tied for first at the halfway mark, like the first weekend. I went from first to 128th. That's how bad my bracket got.
Did you see? I think Pete Christie might have posted it, or the kid in Lubbock that last week still had a perfect women's bracket.
Oh, perfect women's.
Yeah.
In the ESPN.
In the big one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that $1 million as well?
I don't know where it is now, but at that point in time,
wow,
was the only person in the country that still had a perfect women's bracket.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah. But I know on the men's side, it's $1 million to anybody who can do it, and the odds are like you and I landing on the moon is more likely than.
Been some good ball games though.
Yeah. I've enjoyed it.
I went out and sat in the backyard. Kim was off playing golf, and I went and sat in the backyard with the dogs the other day, off over in the corner, sitting in the shade. Nice day, not paying any attention. And my daughter, Jayla, sends me a text, "Did you see that?" And I'm like, oh, no. And then I remembered, oh, my gosh, Duke and UConn are playing.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Yeah, and so I went and pulled it up and was like, wow.
Freshmen made it from the logo and from UConn. Don't think they led almost, maybe early in that game.
They were down 19.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
It's kind of a choke job by Duke. I mean, that's a harsh word, but I will say 10 seconds you have the ball. You don't even have to pass it, let alone try throwing it over. But they're kids. They're in pressure situations. But I don't think they analyze that well enough in the timeout. Here's all you got to do. Hold the ball 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what a thrilling shot for that young man. Just a freshman.
Nothing but net. I mean, you could hear that net go whoosh.
And I will say, Coach Hurley, I never heard it explained quite like that, but he goes, he just immediately says, that's courage. To take that shot, you have to just have courage. You know what I mean?
You're either all in or all out on that one.
Yeah. You really are. So, hey, we also have the Lady Buffs softball on a roll, ranked number 1 in the nation. The West Texas A&M athletics as a whole, Division II. And I saved this question for you, Jimmy. I think I wish they would have stayed Division I basketball. I have to admit, this is all the way back to the 80s. But in my opinion, I would rather be the big fish in the Division II pond than I'm just going to throw it out there than be in the Texas States, the Abilene Christians, the Stephen F's in the Division I world. Your thought on that?
Well, I agree. And we take our lumps because our football program hasn't been at the same level for
very true
a while. But across the board, everything that we do, and then I'll include our football program. It's not like we go to a football game and it's not exciting. We've had to take our lumps along the way too. But to know, for the most part, year in and year out, in every sport that we have, that we're going to be competitive.
Yeah.
And across the board, one of the standard bearers in the division, in Division II. You've got your Grand Valley States, you got your Northwest Missouris, you got your Ferris States, you got places like that. We're right up there in that elite group of schools. I like being there versus being a nobody. I was in school when we were in the Missouri Valley, and it was great basketball.
Yeah.
Football, it was so-so.
Agree.
But the basketball, you had some. Back then, you had those personalities. You had Dick Versace, you had Nolan Richardson at Tulsa. I mean, you really had some high profile personalities, and they'd come to the Cager Club meetings, and it was a different time. But to be competitive across the board, whether it be baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, the things that we participate in, we're pretty competitive across the board, and I prefer that.
On a national basis.
Yeah. Well, and for campus morale and just the whole aura that it brings to your campus you have classes and become friends with those athletes, and it makes for a whole as an institution. And
track programs on a national level. My gosh, Matt Stewart does an amazing job. But no, I'm with you on that. I just wanted your thought on that.
Male and female. That's and we're competitive across the board. I mean, track just finished another hugely successful season, and a couple of national champions out of the deal, and I like competing for championships.
I know we talked about it a lot, but Rock Rose, the board, Kids Inc. got a chance to have a tour yesterday of it. It's just massive. It blows me. I've done a couple tours now, thanks to Jimmy, and it's so impressive. But what was your thought? Give us an update first of all, and then remind us how many sports that Kids Inc. is now involved with, and then also just kind of your thoughts on when you bring new people out there like yesterday. A lot of us were out there for the first time, or a lot of them were out there for the first time, and the eyes you see or the comments you see.
Well, Allie can certainly attest to this. We have 95 current sports seasons.
That's amazing.
In registration. And, I mean, that's from
95.
All your different age groups in baseball, softball, indoor soccer, track, tennis, everything that we have open for registration right now, NFL flag football. When you break it down to all the different age groups, there are 95 of them that are open for registration right now.
Wow.
Most people don't think about that kind of thing.
And when that number is completed, like when the seasons are beginning, how many young kids are we talking about that get a chance to participate?
Oh, this spring total we'll have well over 5,000 or 6,000 kiddos.
Awesome.
In those sports for the year. I anticipate us eclipsing the 20,000 mark this year for the first time. 18.3, 18.4 has kind of been the high. I think we may be closer to 21 or 22, to be honest, with the addition of our baseball and softball programs in this new NFL flag program. We may be closer to 21 or 22 in terms of total participation. But, to get to take the board out there, or anybody that I've had the opportunity to take out there for the first time, the difference is when you drive around it and you see it from Coulter, you see it from the road, they go, oh, y'all are moving a lot of dirt. Yeah. But when you step out on it, it's a whole different perspective, and you really see the breadth of the complex and the size and magnitude of this project. And that all comes down to thank you donors, and thank you to everybody that's contributed, whether it was $5 or $500,000. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing out there if it weren't for them. And so I've still got money to raise, and so that's pretty much all I've done for the last 2 or 3 weeks is been on the phone or sending emails and packets out to bring folks into the loop. And it's going to be special, Lance. You've seen it. And,
it's massive for starters, but it's going to be special.
And I've said before, what I'm looking forward to is sitting in that pavilion and watching people come in, and you've got 2 or 3 kids that are all dressed to play in their sport, and they got to come to one place instead of having to drag them all over town and figure out who's going to get who where, and the convenience factor of the complex for a lot of families.
Yeah.
Those grandparents raising those kiddos on fixed incomes. Those are the things that I'm going to be watching to ask them, have we made this a more convenient situation for you? And I've got to believe the answer is going to be yes. When there's restrooms and a concession stand that you can get a hamburger or whatever you need to eat between games and the other kid go play, feed the one that just finished, I think there's going to be a convenience factor. And, the prices in our concession stands will be extremely fair. Ask the folks in Hereford. We have very fair prices in our concession stand. We're not looking to make a lot of money. We got to cover costs and help a little bit with operations. But we sell a bottle of water for $1.
Yeah.
You
Nobody
name me a
does
place
that.
where you can go. Yeah, name me a place where you can go get a bottle of water.
No, that's awesome. Yeah.
And it covers our costs. So
Yeah.
we'll have fair prices in the concession stand. It'll be affordable for families, and that's our goal. Is have we made this an affordable and convenient place for you? And we won't be raising fees because we've got this new complex. You won't be charged at the gate to come in. For Kids Inc. events. Now, if there's a tournament out there that another group comes in, we have the Convention and Visitors Bureau just printed some really nice brochures that they're going to start taking to their trade shows, and they're hoping to bring, your big tournaments and things like that to town. And I'm sure there'll be charges at the gate for those groups that we rent the facility out to. But when it's Kids Inc. functions, you won't pay to come in, and that's just who we are and what we do.
Yeah, I love that. And then they've thought of everything out there in the parking. So just so you know, there's like 16. I don't want to say wrong, Jimmy, but like 1,600 parking spots.
1615 is the number.
Yeah, and it's very conveniently located and all that. So
here's the other thing I want them to know.
Yeah,
and this is I didn't ask for much. 10-foot wide parking spaces, not 9. The average, if you go to a place, it's 9
so I would have
foot.
never get. I don't. Yeah.
So a parking space is 18 foot deep, 9 foot wide. So it's 2 squares if you think about it, 2 9-foot squares. We ask them to make them 10 because everybody drives pickups and Suburbans around here.
They do, man.
And so if we can cut down on the door dings and widen the parking lot a little bit, so we probably lost 200 or 300 parking places by doing that. But man, if you can pull into a parking place and have a little room on each side, because I'll tell you right now, I need it with my depth perception.
No, I think that's awesome.
It's
I
those
didn't know
little
that until
things.
now.
It's those little things like that.
Yeah, I
man.
agree.
Hopefully.
It's just spectacular to walk out there just to imagine all the kids that are going to be playing on those fields at the same time, and then the quality of the experience as well. I know the convenience is really big, and I like that point, but the experience when they wake up on Saturday morning, hey man, I get to go out to Rock Rose today and play. You know what I mean? That's what
I hope that's right.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be really, really exciting. So I did not have a whole lot today, Jimmy. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Man, I'm disappointed.
Wait, I did have one other thing. You and I are both big golf fans. Obviously, Tiger Woods is in the news.
I'm disappointed.
And then made the statement yesterday where he's stepping away from golf for a while to get his personal act together. This one was disheartening, just because the jeopardy he may have put just somebody pulling over, with a trailer or whatever, a simple act on a 2-lane road that almost became a disaster. But so, I mean, he has issues. Let's face it. Tiger Woods does with the meds. There was no alcohol involved. Meds are nasty, man, and he is in pain. There's no doubt about that. You get a list of those surgeries. I think it's a good move. Tiger needs to be involved with golf in some way, somehow. And if he can't get back out on the senior tour, but to be a voice of golf, he's lived it. He's lived at the highest level. He's played it as well as anybody ever has. We need his voice in it, in my opinion. But these continued they're not little. These continued mishaps really, really are frustrating for the golf world, but he needs to stop. I mean, it's dangerous for other people. And the simple thought is get a driver. What do you think of that?
UBER,
Yeah, who's going to pick up Tiger? Everybody.
Find somebody.
But find somebody to drive around. He has that funds.
It's disappointing, and what I hate the most is, he was. I'm Jack Nicklaus' favorite golfer I'll ever have.
Right.
And he surpassed. He didn't, major wise, but he, in the parity of the game today, he was so far above everybody for so long and dominated until that first mishap. And who knows where he might have gone if that happened. And it's all behind the wash now because now he's had multiple. And so, his credibility gets a hit every time he takes one of these downturns. And that's the part I hate is, and I'll use Pete Rose as an example. It may not be the most parallel example, but every time something came up with Pete Rose, his credibility just dropped a little. And I hate to see that to anybody.
Yeah.
And especially when you were the very best at the game that the game ever knew.
Yeah, I agree.
At least in my opinion. There are probably others that would disagree with me, but in a game, Nicklaus, there was a handful of Nicklauses back in the day. They're all over the golf course today. Anybody, any weekend can win because they're all that good. But to dominate like he did, like Scheffler's doing, those kinds of things, that's not easy to do.
No.
And what you and I will never understand, Lance, is all the pressure that comes with that, and the notoriety and the media pressures and the family pressures and everything else that comes along with that. I will never understand that, or nor will I ever pretend to be in that limelight, nor do I want to be. But I still think you have a responsibility to yourself first, and then those around you to hold yourself to set high standards. And I hope he gets the help he needs, and like you said, can come back and contribute to the game because the game needs him.
Yeah, and there was just discussion. They have this famous dinner at the Masters every Tuesday night of the Masters week, where all the only people allowed in the room are the chairman of Augusta and the champions, the former golfers, and it's a big deal to get into that room for the golf community. But I got no problem if he shows up to it, though. I'm just going to tell Jimmy.
No.
You know what I mean? There'll be photos out there, but they could sneak him in some way and sneak him out, and that's okay with me. But I think he needs to be involved in that room. But it's frustrating. Now he's being challenged, though. The safety of others, you're jeopardizing.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
That's the most important part.
Yeah. But it's better when he's playing or just involved with it. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who's going to win it all? men and women. Who you got?
I've got UConn right now. I mean, UConn women are so good. I will say this: South Carolina has played so much great basketball.
Texas is playing well.
Texas is the one team that has a real chance to beat them. But when UConn's on,
UConn and South Carolina got to duke it out before you get to those other two.
So I'm going UConn, Texas in the final, and then I'm saying Texas is going to throw the rock and try to hit the Goliath, but it's not going down.
Yeah.
UConn,
they're good.
Yeah, they have so many. They have such depth. I loved watching Texas Tech this year, but then I watch a team of that level, Jimmy, and when they go when their eighth player comes in and still is just would start for a lot of other teams, high level teams. Yeah. So I got UConn, and then I've got to go Arizona.
Yeah, me too.
I got to go Zona, see if they can get that done.
I'm gonna go with South Carolina on the girls' side.
Okay. So
I'm a Dawn Staley fan. I like her.
And for good reason. Her. Yeah, what's not to like? Yeah.
I like her.
So, yeah, I like it. We'll see if those will come correct. What's your prediction for wheelchair basketball? We're in the yellow shirts.
Who are you playing?
We're playing a really bad team like we're bad this time. I don't know the exact. It might be Sonic. They always match us up with a bad time. It's not like we're losing.
I'm going to go with Sonic.
Okay, fair
I've seen
enough.
the yellow team.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with Sonic.
Yeah. But I've been sitting in a chair. I'm putting up about 100 shots a day in a chair in the backyard.
Maybe that pays off. Maybe that's the difference this year.
I've got this over-the-hand shot now I'm going to bring
past
out.
Experience, I'm going to go with whatever team's not yellow.
All right, I like it. Fair enough. Hey, we can't thank you enough for joining us today. We want to remind you we are a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network, the Fieldhouse Podcast. Have a lot of fun doing it. That was number 74. And like I always like to say, we will see you when we see you.